Alright, hi everyone. This is Analogue Masterclass Part 2, or Episode 2. It's kind of like a diary blog, I don't know what you would call it really, that I'm keeping on various bits and pieces. For once, these videos aren't for myself, so hopefully you might find some form of mild educational value. So, what have we got today? We've got, I don't know if you can see the writing on that even. It's the Yamaha Mr10. Came out about 1980, I think. I'm not a total, I'm not Wikipedia here. You can go look all this stuff up, but it's early 80s. The key thing about it is it's full analog. And I think it might be the last analog drum machine that Yamaha actually produced. It's incredibly small. Here's my hand. Yeah, that's how small it is. It's small. It's actually small. It's about the same size as my hand. It's freaking tiny. It's basic as hell. By and large, it's a piece of shit. But there are there are aspects to it that are interesting. And the reason why I've included this as drum machine number 2 in this series, not on drum machines, it's just on analog equipment. But this is included as at number as a second video I'm making because it's cheap, guys. It's really cheap. It's like we're talking about $160 max. You shouldn't pay more than about £100 on eBay if you're in the UK. So it's really cheap, and I kind of think it's fun to get something really cool out of a cheap box. And like I said, this has got some aspects to it that are really pretty dope. Okay, so you've got these like crappy pads all along here, which like you'll see people like fiddling around with them. Don't even bother. It's crap. Yeah, they're useless for any serious work. They're just triggers. I mean, I suppose if you really wanted to, you could put some human feel in there, but whatever. Okay, so let's check out jazz rock. Okay, I'm just going to have to go and turn my own monitors up because I've got this obviously recording to Logic, so let me just go crank up the monitor so I can actually hear what this thing is doing. I can't hear it. Okay, like this it sounds pretty dreadful. So this is the tune on the snare. And again, you can tune so obviously that's pretty cool because that gives you a whole range of kind of like snare there, a la 808. I mean, it's a very 808y sort of. There's elements of it that are really in that 808 pocket. Mainly the kick. The kick here. This pattern I'm playing at the moment, jazz rock, shows it up pretty well. Let's try a classic. And there's a small amount of spring reverb on this because I just can't listen to it dry. It sounds terrible. So let me just wind down see if I can wind down the kick. Yeah. So basically, you can see there. You can isolate the snare. You can isolate the kick more or less. So you can kind of isolate some of the patterns. The patterns themselves, they're pretty lame. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. You got 2 banks, a selector here. Pretty lame. I quite like this pattern if I can get it up. sounds okay. It's nothing. And so you've got the kick, which is pretty cool. You can hear the toms in this pattern here, which again are they're a nice sound, you know, they're a really nice little analog sound. And the snare is it's a bit Linish, you know, down here. I get it. It's a slightly simpler pattern. There you can hear the snare again. So the deal with this box is basically I've got this bizarre someone's modded this box not particularly well, and there's a foot switch here which I have to use this to plug into that to actually, you know, to mimic a foot switch going in, because it won't trigger on by itself. The thing's freaking ancient. It runs off batteries. The thing to do with this is the same thing we went through on the Korg 55. It's to just run it off as you need it. So for example, you start the track, you need the kick, bang, just literally you can get the kick in pretty much isolated, and it's a cool kick drum. There's a lot of potential with it. Very kind of like a sort of slightly deep housey, big 808 overtones to it, and it's fairly meaty too. That with maybe some top on it is perfect. It's a really good kick. The snare's sort of doable. The hats are, alright. The sim's tasty on it. It's trying to find a pattern with the freaking sim. If I do this, will the little bastard stop playing? Answer no. Okay, so basically this is the sim trigger here. So that's pretty much the box. Obviously this isn't the best sonic demonstration. What we're going to do now is I'm going to play you a bit of a track using the best elements of this, recorded as well as I can, sort of thing. There's no real treatments to it. The kick's as it is. The snare's missing, so I haven't used the snare from this. Hats, open and closed, and the sim. You've only got 5 elements. No toms on the demo track, unfortunately, but hopefully you've heard kind of on the video what the box is capable of. That's pretty much it. It's cheap, it's readily available still, and kind of pretty much undiscovered. Potential modifications, again, you can do the separate outs, but I don't know how much kind of mileage you get out of that, because if you do the separate outs, it'll make your life slightly easier, but you can get some isolation using the controls on the front panel, but more importantly, you are unlikely to just turn this on, press start, record the pattern, and away you go. You're going to want to roll it off separately and work on the parts, you know what I mean, and get it the timing, everything sorted. If you're going down that road, I mean, you might just want to go plop, and have it ticking away in the background. I don't know. For me personally, I like to get it right as up front in the mix as the core part of the track, basically. Which on a lot of these pieces of crap is pretty difficult. And like I said, it's 50% shit and it's 50% very cool, which is why it's only got £100 selling price at the moment. That, and it's pretty not common. All right, so catch you later, guys, for another episode. Bye.